Have you been thinking about starting a web design agency? With all the doom and gloom about the economy and job cuts, it might not seem like the best time to make such a big change. Maybe you feel safer staying in your employed job, but there are plenty of reasons why now could be a great time to take the leap and start your own agency. In this video, I'm going to share 5 of them. Hi, thanks for joining. If you're new to this channel, I'm Rich Dean, a web designer and developer, former web agency owner, and author of the book series Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency. My goal is to help anyone looking to start, grow, and sell an agency to save time, earn more money, avoid the common mistakes and pitfalls, and build a thriving and valuable business. Okay, just before we go into the main topic though, I want to talk about the economy and why this matters. So, starting a web design agency or starting any business is an important life decision, just like moving house, getting married, or having children. And just like any big life decision, there's never a good or a bad time to do it. Yes, you can try and time it right and pick a time where you think everything is okay, but from my experience, that never really works out. There will always be factors that can work for you and against you. At the moment, there's lots of talk about how the economy is struggling, especially here in the UK. Taxes are going up, things are really expensive, jobs are being cut, and there's lots of doom and gloom. So you might think that staying put in a comfortable job is the best thing to do. And if that's right for you, then I wouldn't try to convince you otherwise. But in my career, I've also seen plenty of times when there have been recessions and economic uncertainty, and I've seen that these can also be really great times to start a business. So I would never tell you that you should do something. I don't give advice like that. But I still think there are plenty of reasons why now could be a really great time to start an agency. Let's get into them, starting with number 1, websites are an established medium. Okay, bear with me. This one might seem really obvious, and you may be wondering what this has to do with starting a business now. But the point I'm trying to make is that unlike 20 or 30 years ago, websites are no longer this experimental thing that clients aren't sure about. The internet has become an established medium, and in many ways, it's now essential. This means that most businesses and charities depend on their websites in some way. This also means that whether times are good or bad economically, clients will always need a good website, which means they will always need good web designers and agencies to work with. This means that even if the economy is struggling, there's still plenty of work out there. It's a stable business model, and this is also one of the reasons why web design is so competitive. That's actually not a bad thing though. If there weren't plenty of work available, then there wouldn't be so many web designers and agencies. Number 2, clients still need to invest and even work harder. When times are tough, the last thing that clients can do is to take their foot off the gas and stop investing in their website and their marketing. Sometimes clients think they can, but this usually ends up backfiring on them. This was something that I noticed when COVID-19 first hit. So back in 2020, I was still running my agency. And as we went through COVID, we had this kind of funny dip and then a rebound as clients adapted. So at the start of the year, before COVID hit, we were busy as usual. Then around March and April, as the first lockdowns hit, we noticed a definite drop in business, and so did other agencies that we knew and were friends with. What basically happened was, to start with, clients kind of panicked and paused their spending on websites and marketing, thinking that was sensible. But then they quickly realized that this was a really bad idea. The market for their customers and clients had become much tougher as people were spending less. So those same clients who initially cut their budgets realized that they actually needed to spend more and work harder on their websites and marketing just to keep up. So we then went through this really busy period in the summer of 2020 onwards as clients realized they needed to invest more in their websites. The same thing is happening now. When the economy is tough, clients need to invest even more just to keep going. Okay, before we go any further though, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're a fairly new channel and it will really help us if we can get those all important likes and subscribes up. It won't cost you a thing and it won't take you a second. Okay, back to the main topic. Number 3, clients will want more for their money. Even though clients need to invest more when times are tough, that doesn't mean they'll spend money just for the sake of it. If anything, when times are tough, clients will actually be more sensitive to what they're spending. So in good times, when there's plenty of money moving around, clients may be more relaxed about spending more, especially on bigger, more expensive website projects, and usually with bigger, more expensive agencies. But when the economy is not doing so well, those clients will focus more on value for money and making sure they get the maximum return on their investment while spending as little as possible. That works perfectly for small startup agencies, especially if you already have a lot of experience as a web designer or developer. Those bigger agencies will have lots of associated costs that can make them more expensive. But as a startup, if you can stay lean, then you could be able to offer the same level of service and quality, but at a much lower cost. To many clients, this can be very attractive. And when times are tough, many clients will actively seek out solo designers and developers or small startup agencies, specifically because they know they could get the same level of service, or maybe even better, but for less money. So if you're just starting out, this is definitely something you can use to your advantage. Number 4, AI can help you tackle the difficult stuff. So I've posted a few videos recently where I've mentioned how much of a game changer AI has become, especially in my solo freelance business that I'm running now. So to give you an example, if I think back to when I started my agency 11 years ago, this was before AI. I was an experienced web designer and I was also a pretty good front-end developer, but I was also still fairly new to back-end development, especially WordPress and PHP. I didn't have AI to help me, and there was so much that I needed to figure out. It was a really steep learning curve as I was on my own, and even though I could still Google or use Stack Overflow, there was still a lot of trial and error. I burnt so much time trying to figure things out, and it was really stressful. When I grew my agency, I needed to employ more experienced developers to handle the really complex stuff. But now that I have tools like ChatGPT, things have completely changed. Using AI, I'm able to work on my own, but still handle a lot of really complex things. And it's so much quicker and easier than it used to be. So in this sense, AI has removed, or at least alleviated, one of the most challenging parts of starting a web agency. Number 5, it will give you more control over your own destiny. If you're currently employed, perhaps as a web designer or developer, then you may feel like having a job gives you more security than the unknown of starting your own agency. But I've always thought that being employed is actually less secure than running your own business. To be honest, neither of them are actually secure. In either situation, for you to get paid, they both rely on there being work to do, as that's what pays you. The only difference is that if you're employed in someone else's agency, you're basically shielded from that uncertainty about where the work is coming from and whether there will be enough of it. But that uncertainty will always be there, regardless of whether you work for someone else's agency or you run your own. It's just that when you work for someone else's agency, it feels more secure because you're shielded from that uncertainty. You turn up to work each day, and there's usually work waiting for you without you needing to worry too much about how or where it came from. But what happens if you walk into work one day and that work is not there? What happens if you walk into work one day only to be told that your job is no longer there? In my mind, that's always been the most uncertain part of being employed. But when you run your own agency, you will have more control over your own destiny. You'll still need to find work, just like your employed agency would, but the difference now is that you will have direct control over that, and you also can't be fired. Okay, so hopefully you found this video useful. If you've enjoyed it, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. This will really help us grow the channel so that we can carry on making helpful content just like this. And if you'd like more tips and insights for how to get your agency off the ground, check out my book series Start, Grow and Sell Your Web Design Agency, which you can buy from Amazon now, and I'll share a link in the description below. And if you'd like to watch even more informative content, then why not check out this video here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.